What's going on, y'all? It's your man Pristine. Welcome to another video. Okay, so check this out. Follow me because I'm going somewhere. Let me read some content to you real quick, and then let's jump into the video. Check this out. Check this out. The real problem here is that I can't imagine even a theoretical consumer who should buy the Moto Z4. In a world where Google has the Pixel 3a for a mere $400. There's just no reason to hitch your wagon to Moto Mods. At $500 with the 360-degree camera mod, the Z4 is a non-starter when you can get a Pixel 3a for less. So, ladies and gentlemen, for the past week and a half, maybe 2 weeks, I've been doing nothing but just sitting back and listening to people compare the Moto Z4 to the Pixel 3a. All right? And in my personal opinion, in no way, shape, or form is the Pixel 3a a better phone than the Moto Z4. And I've got 11 reasons to stake my claim. All right? Check this out. Let me know down in the comments what you guys think after I name these 11 reasons why the Moto Z4 just completely and utterly destroys the Pixel 3a. Consider these bold statements if you will. I've got both devices. I've tested them both side by side. Cameras and all. Okay? Let's go. What's going on, y'all? It's your man Pristine, back with another video. So here are my 11 reasons why I feel like the Moto Z4 is a much better device than the Pixel 3a. Now, the reason why I decided to compare these two is because for some weeks now, the past 2.5, 3 weeks, all I've been doing is sitting back and listening to videos that people have made, or videos that people have written, or reviews that people have written about how they feel as though the Moto Z4 is inferior to the Pixel 3a, when in fact the Moto Z4 is superior to the Pixel 3a, and I've got 11 reasons why. So, this is just to squash all the nonsense. This is my personal opinion, which I'm completely entitled to. The other people that wrote reviews about how they feel like the Pixel 3a is a better device, hey, if that's their opinion, it is what it is. But I know some of that maybe just, man, again, as my man Jbl would like to say, the media, they get their hands on devices, they scandalize and malign them. Excuse me. And they put a bunch of negativity out there in the atmosphere about certain devices that are well deserving of an opportunity from the average consumers like you and I. You know what I mean? And so I just want to put it out there on how good of a phone the Moto Z4 actually is. All right. So these are my 11 reasons as to why I believe that the Moto Z4 is killing the Pixel 3a. All right. Now, reason number 1, the design. Okay, if you look at the design of the Moto Z4 versus the design of the Pixel 3a, I don't really know anybody at this frame of the game in 2019 that would select this particular design over this one. If we look at the Moto Z4, unless there's people out there that just want a smaller device, but the Moto Z4 has It has that 2019 look, feel, screen real estate. This has been out a long time ago. And so it's like, when Google was designing these phones, I don't quite understand, what they had in mind. And I know that they were just trying to give us a cheaper form of a Pixel, which I get. And apparently it's a hit because the phone is definitely making a lot of noise. But the phone, the way that it looks, is really not all that desirable. Now, say if the Pixel 3a and the 3a XL had a design like the Moto Z4, oh man, You know what I mean? I mean, it would kind of, it would even the playing field a little bit. Not saying that it would be, a better phone entirely than the Moto Z4, because there's a lot of other things to factor in. But I mean, it's just as far as the design and how it's built and how it looks. I mean, this is what's hot right now. This is what's trending. This particular look that the Moto Z4 is sporting. The Pixel 3a, this particular look is prehistoric. I mean, you've got the big belt, thicker bezels around the sides, big chin, big forehead, and I get it. Okay, at the top you got the front-facing camera, you got the speaker. I think the only thing that the Pixel 3a has over the Moto Z4 is the dual stereo speakers. That's about it. But it's like, if you look at the bottom of the Pixel 3a, the second speaker is not here on the front. You don't have two front-facing speakers. It's on the bottom here. So it's like you got a speaker in the ear receiver right there, and then a speaker on the bottom. Nothing justifies this waste of space, down here at the bottom of the phone. Like I said, it's justified at the top because you've got the camera and one speaker. But at the bottom, I mean, they could have completely cut that out, and that just could have been more screen real estate to give it a more all-screen design. You know what I mean? I mean, this particular look just makes the Pixel 3a look ugly and corny, in my personal opinion, compared to the overall look of the Moto Z4, who just seems to get it at this point. And so, both phones are sporting the same wallpaper. You know what I mean? Because I know that sometimes wallpapers can sometimes, be deceptive on how screens actually look. So I got the same wallpaper set up. The phones are both set at the same brightness. They're both set at 60% brightness. Okay, same wallpaper, same brightness. And I'll talk a little bit about that later on in the video. Now, reason number 2, the build. Now, the Pixel 3a is made of Dragon Trail glass on the front and polycarbonate plastic on the sides and the rear. Okay, now it's a lightweight phone. It feels really good in the hands. And so, people that want a smaller device are going to love this. But as far as durability, Dragon Trail glass and polycarbonate plastic, to me, just doesn't make the cut as far as durability and being able to withstand the test of time. Me personally, I don't drop my phones. You know what I mean? I don't ever put screen protectors on my devices, but I always recommend other people do, because other people may not take care of their things the way that I do. And even if they do, a little drop or a little scratch here and there, I mean, it happens. You know what I mean? I feel like we've got Corning Gorilla Glass 3 on the front of the Moto Z4, Corning Gorilla Glass 5 on the back, and it's like brushed. I mean, it feels like a brushed aluminum, but this is Corning Gorilla Glass 5, ladies and gentlemen. As you can see, it's not a fingerprint magnet. I'm sitting there touching this. I just recently put some lotion on my hands, and so you should definitely be able to see like little prints and stuff. Man, this is very durable. It's either an aluminum or a metal frame that is in between the Gorilla Glass 3 and the Gorilla Glass 5 on the back. I mean, the Moto Z4, it's heavier than the Pixel 3a, but to me that's not a problem because the phone is much more, whoa, almost had a drop test right there. The phone is much more durable, and so I feel like the Moto Z4 is going to be able to withstand the test of time as far as drops, scuffs, and all that kind of thing. I mean, I just think over the course of time of average everyday usage, maybe a drop or two here or there, a scratch or two here that the phone's in your pocket. Maybe you got the phone in your pocket with some change or something like that going on. I feel like the Pixel 3a is going to look much worse than the Moto Z4 over a course of time of using the device, and it just, withstanding the daily usage wear that normally phones take, from people. So Gorilla Glass 3 on the front, Gorilla Glass 5 on the back, with aluminum or metal around the sides. Dragon Trail on the glass on the front, and polycarbonate plastic on the back and around the sides of the Pixel. The Moto Z4 definitely wins the durability test in my mind very easily. Now, some might argue, oh, well, I would rather have the polycarbonate plastic because the Gorilla Glass, it's glass, and if you drop it from a great enough distance, then it's going to shatter. You're absolutely right about that. You know what I mean? But it's still more durable than the Pixel 3a's polycarbonate plastic. And whether you got the Pixel 3a or the Moto Z4, as I tell everybody, protect your investment. That's what they've got cases and screen protectors for, so that you don't have to worry about those types of things. You know what I mean? But if you're the type of, if you're the type of person that likes to, rock your phone, raw dog, bucket naked, then you're going to be more secure for sure with the Moto Z4. It is a much more durable device than the Pixel 3a. All right. Now, moving on to reason number 3, the screen brightness. Look at this. 60%, 60%. Now, I'm pretty sure that over the weeks since the Pixel 3a and the Pixel 3a the Pixel 3a XL has been released, you've heard countless stories, and if you haven't, there's a lot of information and things circulating out there about how the screen quality is trash. Okay, now these are 2 OLED panels. Okay, but the Moto Z4's OLED panel is much brighter than the OLED panel here on the Pixel 3a. Much brighter. It's bigger. It's brighter. Okay. I don't want to say that the screen on the Pixel 3a is trash, because the content is legible, but what the problem is you have to turn the screen brightness up damn near, you have to turn it up to have any kind of brightness to be able to view your content. You have to turn it up up to 70% or more. Anything beyond 70%, the Pixel 3a just seems to be too damn dim. You know what I mean? So there's a clear difference between the screen brightness on the Moto Z4 versus the screen brightness on the Pixel 3a. And what that proves to me is that in different lighting conditions, or when you're outside and it's bright out, the sun's beaming down, you're going to have a better experience viewing your content on your Moto Z4 than you are on your Pixel 3a. And the fact that the Moto Z4 has that added screen real estate is also going to help matters. Okay, so I mean, the screen brightness for the Pixel 3a is a problem compared to the screen brightness on the Moto Z4. You know what I mean? But it doesn't matter which screen brightness we have them at. The only way that the screen brightness on the Pixel 3a is going to be better than the Moto Z4 is if the brightness on the 3a is just turned up more than the brightness on the Moto Z4. But both phones set at the same screen brightness, which they are. They're both set at 60% right now. Okay, 60%. Look at the difference. If you can see that through the camera lens here, the Moto Z4 screen is brighter. Okay, the Pixel 3a screen, I mean, you can see it, but it's dim to me. Like, I couldn't rock my phone like this all the time. I'd have to turn the screen brightness up. I can rock with this. I can rock with the screen brightness being at 60 on the Moto Z4 with no problems. I would have to increase the brightness on the Pixel 3a. Okay, so screen brightness, which is major, also goes to the Moto Z4. All right. Now, reason number 4, the Moto gestures. I feel like the gesture control that you have on the Moto Z4 is much better and much more usable than what's being offered on the Pixel 3a. Okay? Now, say if you just want to get to your camera real quick. A couple flicks of the wrist, that's going to take you to your viewfinder if you want to take a selfie. Another couple flicks of the wrist, and boom, that takes you to your selfie camera. Okay? If you want to go back to the viewfinder with the rear camera, a couple flicks of the wrist, it flips the camera back around. All right? Now, if you're in dark environments and you're trying to, let's just say you're trying to save on your power bill, or it's nighttime and you don't want to turn a bunch of lights on, but you're looking for something and you want to use your phone's flashlight. Okay, well, to enable the flashlight on the Moto Z4, rather than having to go into the settings and all that, or scrolling down to your quick toggles and hit the flashlight or whatever, you chop the phone a couple times, boom. There's your flashlight. Chop again, turns your flashlight off. Now, to me, those are some useful tools, among a couple of other things that the Moto Z4 is offering as far as gestures. But to me, those are the main 2 things that stand out, because those are the main 2 gestures that I seem to use the most when I'm rocking with my Moto Z4. I mean, what, on the Pixel 3a, what do we got? I mean, squeeze your phone to get to the Google Assistant. Okay?
Here is it.
Squeeze the phone to get to the Google Assistant. That's very gimmicky. Why squeeze your phone when all you have to say is, okay, Google? I mean, that's it. You know what I mean? Or, hey, Google. Squeeze your phone? I mean, it's like, who squeezes their phone? I mean, it was a cute little gimmick when it was unveiled, but it was just more of a marketing ploy to say, hey, okay, look at what the phone can do. You can squeeze it. They're like, okay, you know, we bought some technology from HTC, because HTC originated that squeeze feature first. And then Google, you know what I'm saying, I mean, paid them some cheese to acquire that feature and put it on their phones. But is that feature a hit, or is it a gimmick? Let me ask you guys, are you Pixel fanboys and fangirls, you know what I'm saying, or just, you know, people that are fans of the Pixel product, you know, that have the ability to squeeze your phone to access your assistant? How many of you actually utilize that function? If you do, it's probably more so accidental than it is deliberate, right? Like, you know, the Pixels that I've had that offer that feature, yeah, I set it up. But I only set it up only to turn the squeeze sensitivity down to prevent accidental squeezes. Because to me, it's just a gimmicky, it's a gimmicky, non-useful feature to have. Squeeze your phone? I don't know anybody that's squeezing their phones. All right, I'd much rather have the ability to flick my wrist and turn on the camera, chop the phone a couple of times to access the flashlight, and just simply speak to the phone, because that's the world in which we're living in right now. I mean, you got all these home systems, Google Home, and you know, and little Amazon, the Echo Dots and all this stuff, where you just simply talk to these things. You just simply say, "Hey Google," or "Okay Google," you know what I mean, and it responds to your voice. Just like that. There's no need to squeeze your phone. You know what I mean? So it's like the gestures that the Pixel 3a is offering, to me, cannot compare to the gestures that seem to be much more useful on the Moto Z4. You know what I'm saying? So that's reason number 4, ladies and gentlemen, why the Moto Z4 is just obliterating the Pixel 3a. Now let's keep it going. Now let's move it down to number 5. Okay, better processor. Okay, the Moto Z4 is rocking the Snapdragon 675 processor. The Pixel 3a is rocking the Snapdragon 670. So 670 processor, 675 processor. Now, is that much of a difference between the two? No, there's not. But which processor is the newer processor? The 675. So side by side, as far as performance, you're probably not going to see too much of a difference between both of these devices, because they have the exact same specs. We've got a Snapdragon 675 here in the Z4, a Snapdragon 670 on the Pixel 3a. We got 4 gigs of RAM on both. You got 64 gigs of non-expandable storage. You've got 128 gigs of expandable storage, and that's another one of the reasons, but I'll get into that in a minute. Okay, but I'm saying, as far as like the internal specs, as far as like, you know, they both got the same gigs of RAM. They both got 4 gigs of RAM. This has 64 gigs of internal storage. This has 128 gigs of internal storage. Snapdragon 675, Snapdragon 660. Okay, now both of these phones are connected to my Wi-Fi. Let's just see if there's a difference in speed. But I'm just saying, I'm still gonna want to go with the 675 processor, because why not? You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's like, if you had to choose between the two, it's like, you know, on paper, the Moto Z4 has the better spec sheet because it has a newer processor. Okay, now. Okay, so the Moto Z4 opened up the Bible app a hair, just a split second before the Pixel 3a. Like I said, I mean, both of these processors are very identical, you know what I mean? And so let's see. This is my wife's phone. This Pixel 3 is my wife's phone. And so things look a little different. But let's just go to Spotify, and all the applications have been closed out on both phones. So let's see here. Okay, so it's still opened a tad bit faster on the Moto Z4. Okay. Now, let's see. Okay, where's my Canary app? There it is right there. Okay, so Canary is our home security system. Let's go to Canary and see. Okay, so it's like the Pixel 3a took that one a little bit. Well, man, my wife, she hasn't even set that up on her phone. Slacker. I have to set that up for her so she can access our home security. But like I said, I mean, the differences in performance between the two devices, you're probably not going to see too much of a difference. But the fact of the matter is, the Moto Z4 has the Snapdragon 675 processor versus the 670 processor Snapdragon that's in the Pixel 3a. So again, the Moto Z4's got the newer processor. The Snapdragon 675 is supposedly the better processor. Maybe not by much, but it's still the newer, better processor. So again, you got to give that one to the Moto Z4. Okay, that's reason number 5. Now reason number 6. The Moto Z4's got a bigger battery. Okay, and like I said, you Pixel people, you guys can be, oh well, you know, why not compare the Moto Z4 to the Pixel 3a XL? I mean, I can do that. I mean, to me, I still feel like the Moto Z4 is a better phone overall than the Pixel 3a and the Pixel 3 XL. It just is. You know what I'm saying? But I'm talking about the Pixel 3 because most people that compare these phones, they say stupid stuff like, oh, well, the Pixel 3a is just a better buy. It's $100 cheaper. And they act as though the monies that Motorola is asking for the Moto Z4 aren't justified. And I'll talk a little bit about that a little later in the video as well. Okay? We've got a non-removable 3,600 milliamp hour battery on the Moto Z4 versus the 3,000 milliamp hour non-removable battery that's on the Pixel 3a. Need I even say any more? Need I say more? 3,600 milliamps, 3,000 milliamps. The Moto Z4 has the better battery. You're gonna get much better. You're gonna get much better battery life and battery sustainability on the Moto Z4 over the Pixel 3a. Okay, that's number 6. Reason number 7 as to why the Moto Z4 is better than the Pixel 3a. Memory expansion. You got 64 gigs of internal storage, non-expandable. You've got 128 gigs onboard storage, expandable to a terabyte. Nothing else needs to be said there, ladies and gentlemen. Okay? 128 gigs of onboard storage, expandable to a terabyte. 64 gigs of internal storage, non-expandable. Let's keep it moving. Reason number 8. The Moto Z4 has a dual SIM slot versus the Pixel 3a single SIM. On the Moto Z4, you can put in dual nano SIMs or a nano SIM and an SD card to expand that memory up to a terabyte. You do not have that capability on the Pixel 3a because it has a single nano SIM, no slot for memory expansion. Okay, the Moto Z4 trumps it in that category as well. Okay, reason number 9. The Moto Z4 is fully unlocked. The Pixel 3a is carrier bound. Okay, now it's good that the Pixel phones, you can get them all over now at just about every carrier, and not just the Pixel 3a or the Pixel 3a XL, but you can get yourself a Pixel 3 or a Pixel 3 XL at all major carriers. They're no longer just exclusive to Verizon. Okay, now although the Moto Z4 is being sold unlocked, the Moto Z4 is exclusive to Verizon. But let me tell you the benefits of getting it from Verizon. People talk about the price of the Moto Z4 versus the Pixel 3a. Full retail for the Moto Z4 is $499. So you're paying $500. Okay? $500 plus the taxes or whatever, depending on where you live. Okay? You may be paying close to like $550 or something like that. $399 price tag, full retail for the Pixel 3a. Okay? Now, if you get this phone, if you get the Moto Z4 from Verizon, which it is a Verizon exclusive, the promotion is still going on to this day, where over a 24-month time span, Verizon is going to apply bill credits for whatever the monthly amount for the Moto Z4, meaning that you are only going to pay $240 out of your pocket over a 24-month time span for the Moto Z4. So if you're getting this phone from Verizon, that is a hell of a deal. $240 from Verizon, $399 for retail from any carrier. Unless there's some type of promotions going on, you know what I'm saying, at the carriers with the Pixel 3a, which I believe that there is. But I'm not sure if it's as good as the promotion that's going on at Verizon with the Moto Z4. Okay? If you buy the Moto Z4 unlocked, you get the 360 Moto Mod camera with it. You know what I mean? I mean, that camera mod by itself is like 50 or 60 bucks, could be more. I mean, so I don't think that that's a bad deal at all, especially considering everything else that this phone can do. Because ladies and gentlemen, when you think about it, the Moto Z4 and the Z-line phones, period, are really in a league of their own, considering, you know, the additions that you can add to them to enhance your user experience. The Moto Z4 can do something that the Pixel 3a, the Pixel 3a XL, and no other phone can do. And I'm getting ready to cover those topics. Okay? Another good thing about the fact that if you get the Moto Z4 from Verizon, it's also fully unlocked, because Verizon is now a hybrid network, because they're transitioning from CDMA to GSM. Remember, at the end of 2019, Verizon, unless something changes, will no longer be under the CDMA network. They will be a GSM network. So, ladies and gentlemen, you can get this phone right now from Verizon, only pay $240 for it, and put whatever SIM card you want in it and be able to use this phone. Now you tell me what the better value is. Just with that particular aspect in mind that I just mentioned. Okay, let's keep it moving. That was reason number 9. Reason number 10, the cameras. Now a lot of people are going to argue that the Pixel has the best camera. And, you know, rightfully so. You know, over the years, the Pixel has had a name for having the top cameras, camera performance, the best images. Man, I mean, and doing it with a single camera, doing it with a single camera lens versus all these phones that got dual cameras, triple cameras, quadruple cameras. You know what I'm saying? I mean, we even seen the Nokia Pure View that had what, 6 cameras on the back and like 2 in the front. I mean, that was ridiculous. It's a damn good camera. Damn good camera. I was in Best Buy playing with it, and I took some images and I was blown away. But I just wasn't willing to pay $600-700 for that phone for a stock Android device. You know what I mean? That does the same thing that these two devices does, just because of the cameras. I wasn't willing to do that. There's a camera comparison that I did with these two phones, and I'll drop the link for that in the description. But I entitled it "The Battle of the Single Camera Lenses," because before, on the Moto Z line, Motorola also used to have a dual camera system setup. But they decided to drop it down to one 48 megapixel camera on the back. The Pixel still has that 12 megapixel sensor on the rear. And most of the images taken with this phone is scaled down to 12 megapixels. You have to turn on that 48 megapixel option under the camera settings. Okay, so when you snap a photo with the Moto Z4, it's a 12 megapixel output. And the pictures look so clean and crisp. I'll let you guys be the judge. The camera comparison for these two phones is down in the description. If you haven't checked that out, be sure to check it out and let me know in the comments what you think the better camera is. In my personal opinion, I feel like the Pixel has finally met its match. Okay, to me, the Moto Z4 overall has the better camera than the Pixel 3a. In my personal opinion. And I understand you guys are going to be like, man, that's a bold statement, Pristine. You're tripping, Pristine. No, I'm not. Because I've got both phones here side by side. I've tested them. I've taken several photos with both of these phones, looked at them side by side. And to me, the color reproduction, the sharpness, the detail is just a tad. I'm not saying by much, but a tad bit better on the Moto Z4. And trust me, I'm one of those guys. I am extremely meticulous. All right, I've got OCD big time. So a lot of the fine details that a lot of people miss, I don't miss those details. You know what I mean? I'm looking for those details, because the more details for me, the better. And I'm a very detail-oriented individual, very meticulous, extremely meticulous. The camera on the Moto Z4 is better than the camera on the Pixel 3a. Get down in the comment section and click that link to the camera comparison and you'll see what I'm talking about. All right. Reason number 11, and this is the main reason why the Moto Z4 just completely obliterates the Pixel 3a. The Moto mods. The Moto mods. Now, some people may be like, oh, well, who wants to buy enhancements to enhance your user experience of a device? It's a modular phone. There's been other modular phone attempts. They all crashed and burned. The Pixel Z line, Lenovo Motorola has found a way to keep it going with the modularity aspect of the Moto Z line. So this phone, for one, is 5G upgradable. Have you heard anything talked about? Have you heard the Pixel and 5G spoken about in the same conversation? I haven't. And if you have, put a link in the description where I can look it up. Because trust me, I am linked and connected to several mobile device sites and sources. Trust me, ladies and gentlemen, I may not upload videos as consistently as I want to just because of my busy work and family schedule, but trust me, I am game tight with everything that's going on in the smartphone world right now, man. Because on free time, all I do is scour the internet and scour these multiple sources that I'm linked in for the newest information in the mobile industry. And I have yet to find Pixel and 5G in the same conversation. This phone is 5G upgradable right now with the Moto mod. Right now. And the only reason why I don't have the 5G mod is because in Seattle, Washington, 5G has not been released. And the reason for that is because from the information that I'm getting from Verizon is because the city of Seattle is charging or wanting to charge Verizon too damn much money to put the 5G towers all over the place like they're going to need to do in order to enable us 5G capability. So it's a money thing right now at this point. But I mean, if you live in Chicago, if you live in Minneapolis and a few of the other cities where Verizon has dropped 5G, with your Moto Z4 right now, you can slap that 5G Moto mod on the back of your Moto Z4 and you will be able to take full advantage of 5G data speeds and services. This phone can be turned into a projector with the projector mod. Imagine watching content on your phone, whether it be a YouTube video, a movie on Netflix, Hulu, or whatever you want to watch, sports, HBO Go, whatever. And you can project that image from this phone with the projector Moto mod up to 70 inches on a wall. Up to 70 inches on a wall. You don't need to go and spend hundreds of dollars on a 70-inch TV. You can just pay the little money for the projector mod and project whatever you want to watch on a wall up to 70 doggone inches. That is crazy, ladies and gentlemen. This phone already has a dope camera, but you know what? You can go get that Hasselblad camera mod and it's going to change the game with this camera. There's wireless charging mods, a few of them. So this phone has wireless charging by slapping a Moto mod attachment to the back of it. You'll never have to worry about losing battery ever again. And if you do, with the wireless charge Moto mod clipped to the back of this phone, you could set it on a wireless charger just like this here and charge this phone. You can't do that with the Pixel. You can't do nothing close to that with the Pixel 3a. Now the Pixel 3 and the Pixel 3 XL, they have wireless charge capabilities, just the phones. You don't need no mod for that. But I'm just saying, with that wireless charge Moto mod for the Moto Z4, you've got not only just wireless charging to charge the device, but say if you wanted to charge your phone and the battery pack, you just set it on the wireless charger. And there's your wireless charging right there. This phone, the Moto Z4, is way more future-proof than the Pixel 3a. Okay, you want to take your music level to another level? You can get the Jbl Speaker Mod, and there's two of them. There's the first generation and the second generation. Okay, the Jbl Moto Mod, you slap that on the back of this joint, and that thing rocks. I don't have one, but I tested it in Best Buy. It rocks, ladies and gentlemen. It rocks. For how small it is, it's got huge sound. And that's the thing now. A lot of things are becoming much smaller, but producing just unbelievable sound. A lot of these these speakers, these Bluetooth speakers, smart home speakers, all those kind of things, man, them things bump, yo. They absolutely rock. So you've got two Jbl speaker mods that you can get for the Moto Z4. There's a Gamepad mod. All you gamers out there? And that's another reason why having the Snapdragon 675 is a good thing, because it's more of one of those upper echelon mid-range processor, closer to flagship performance. If you want to game on your Moto Z4, get yourself that game mod. You slap the phone right in the middle where it goes, and on the side you've got your thumbsticks, you've got buttons, you've got the buttons up at the top just like you would on your Xbox One or your PS4 controllers, and you go ahead and get your game on. You ain't got to worry about twiddling your thumbs and messing around touching the screen. It just changes the whole gaming experience. The mobile gaming experience has been changed and revolutionized with that gaming pad Moto mod that you can get for the Moto Z4. So you can also enhance your gaming experience. So you can step up your gaming experience with the mod. Step up your music experience with the mod. Style mods. If you just want to change up the look of your phone, you can get style mods. Projector mod. Wireless charging battery pack mods. I mean, I feel like I'm forgetting something, because I know that there's a few other mods out there as well. Point is, the Moto Z4 is leaps and bounds ahead of the Pixel 3a as far as future proofing. And even if you take away the Moto mods and just compare phone to phone, the Moto Z4 is a better phone overall than the Pixel 3a. People, when are you going to recognize that? Give Motorola some respect and the credit that they deserve, man. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? Motorola is some of the pioneers and the originators of some of the mobile tech that we know and love from way back in the day. And they're still in the game doing it. The Moto Z4 here, their latest launch, their most recent launch, it's their latest and greatest. Stop disrespecting this phone by comparing it to this. Stop it. You know what I'm saying? The Moto Z4 is a much better device in every category than the Pixel 3a XL. All right, that's it. Those are my 11 reasons as to why the Pixel 3a is a better device. Or I'm sorry, the Moto Z4 is a better device than the Pixel 3a. If you agree, let me know what you think down in the comments, or if you disagree. If you like this video, hit that thumbs up button. Be sure to like, share the video, and subscribe to the channel to expose yourself to tons of more videos that I've done like this one. Open up my whole catalog. I've got over 200 videos up, all kinds of different devices. And keep it locked here at Pristine Mobile Tech, because I've got so much more content to come. Make sure you hit that notification bell so that every time my videos go live, you'll get the notification that Pristine Tech just dropped something. Be the first to check it out, and get down in the comment section, which is where I'm going to be chilling at. Let me know what you think about what you saw. Hit me with any questions, comments, or feedback, and I'll get back with you down in the comments. All right? You guys already know, man. Keep it safe. We're definitely living in the last days in 2019, man. So definitely get spiritually fit. It's the best thing that you could ever do. It doesn't matter what you got going on in your lives. God is always willing to start over. And he's willing to pull you up from whatever depths in which you fall into. All right? Keep it pristine in every aspect of your lives, man. This is the Moto Z4. This is the Pixel 3a. The Moto Z4 here is the clear winner. I'll catch y'all in the next video. Peace. We out.